Hello to all out there. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all living the dream. Hope you're all having a fantastic time. That is what I hope. Not a good week. This week is it for well, terrorism really. Shit. Kind of sucks. But you know, we all knew this was going to happen. And it does amaze me when it happens. And you know, you get the police and politicians and other sort of idiots that say, "Oh my God, I'm so surprised. I'm so surprised. How did this happen?" Yeah, it was always going to happen. You know, it's ridiculous. Plenty of sort of stabbings and things this week, just utterly disgusting. But we got another couple of minutes before we go live with the recording. So I'm just hoping that the chat fills up a bit. I hope that some people join. They generally do. I usually get a few people join and leave comments and stuff. Sometimes just lefties, but I don't mind. It's fine. More often way to go, and it's no problem at all. Quite a nice little track, this. Yeah, I don't mind this track at all. This is obviously on the YouTube channel Studio, the audio library for copyright free. Fantastic. The technology we have these days, utterly incredible. I love it. We have 1 minute to go until we go live. I'm gonna have a little button here that makes my main recording go live, start recording. So that's, you know, everything's going well at the moment. As some of you may know, I did get a weatherman last week, but he's just not bothered. So there you go. It is what it is, and you know, not a problem. So let's bring the camera up on that. Let's put it on video. That is ready to go. I'm just going to wait for that to tick down to 12:30, and then we will start the show. We have one person, count them one, in the watching the live stream. Good stuff. Anne-Marie Coling has. Hi there. How's it going? Yes, I hope you're having a very good day. 12:30, so I'm going to start the stream now. Hello and welcome to Not the Evening News. This is a news channel. It's fairly right-wing, quite right-wing, and it's just talking about the news this week that has happened that the mainstream media will not comment or report on at all. So if that's not for you, then feel free to move on. I won't be insulted. Just don't be a lefty douche and you know, hang around just spamming crap in the comment section. So we're gonna jump straight into this. Let's get some news. We have Tara Bull on X, who has said, disturbing, a father of a boy who raped a 12-year-old girl with his friend for 30 minutes after shoving rocks in her mouth in Miami says his son should be free because, and I quote, he's a young black man. Now, we don't have those differences here in Britain that they seem to have in America. Like in Britain, there's not really any kind of difference between black and white communities. With respect to that, I think everyone gets along. In Britain, it's generally the Muslims that don't want to integrate and people don't get along with for obvious reasons. So I think this guy, what his mistake is there, watching, you know, like the BBC or British news channels or things like that, and and maybe he thought, you know, I would get away with this in Britain because they're a joke country at the moment. So I'll try it in America. And obviously, in America, they're quite stern. They've still got their sense of but they've still got law in America, which is something that we are sadly missing in the UK. So maybe he saw that in the UK you'd probably get away with this and thought, I'll try it. I'll give it a try in America, see if I can get my son out of this sort of, scot-free. So to speak, like you would in Britain. No such luck as far as I've noticed. I believe they are going to try his son, who is 12 years old. They're going to try him as an adult. Quite rightly so. I absolutely agree with that. If he's old enough to rape somebody, if he feels he's old enough to have sex, then he's absolutely old enough to deal with the consequences of his actions. Absolutely. So try him as an adult. Our next post, we have Basil the Great on X, who has said, breaking. This is actually a breaking news story. This is very recently posted, and it says UK gas prices surged 93% in just 3 days. 93% in 3 days. That's astronomical. So obviously your bills for if your property has gas to it, your bills are going to go through the roof. My God, 93%. That is huge. Basil the Great also posts, goodbye Keir Starmer, this is the end. Net zero has made us vulnerable to the world's markets for energy, and now we're actually screwed. Yeah, absolutely. It wouldn't surprise me if we had to just shut off the gas supply coming into Britain. It genuinely would not surprise me, because no one's gonna take a rise of 93% on their gas bills. No one is going to do that. So I think you'll find maybe a lot of people will just maybe go outside their house and just shut the gas off and just think, Jesus Christ, I not only is it immoral for me to pay an additional 93%, but it's that you can't pay it. Who can afford an additional 93% on their bills? I know I can't, so I don't think many other people will be able to. This is absolutely catastrophic for Britain. But again, it's one of those things, we haven't put any money into our own industries in decades. We haven't produced our own energy for decades. And this is the result of that. Like I said, it's the same with the farmers, right? So Keir Starmer wants to get rid of all these farms and have us rely on other countries for food. Well, let's say we fall out with those countries. Let's say we go to war with a couple of countries or something, and then all the other countries that we're still allies with just put all their prices up because they know that we'll have to pay it because there'll be a big demand for it. You can't just say to people, well, don't eat. I mean, the whole gas surge in price by 93%. You can shut off your gas and still live. If we do to farmers what Keir Starmer is proposing, we do to farmers, then you can't just shut off the food supply and not eat. It doesn't work like that. So absolutely ridiculous. Keir Starmer is such a weak leader. We have to get him out of number 10. As far as I'm concerned, he is a squatter. He has no right to be there. He is a squatter in number 10 Downing Street. Pardon me. We have Dean Smith on X, who has posted a picture with 2 Labour MPs on it, and he's put evil bastards. So this is a picture of Patricia Hewitt, who was a Labour MP, and she has said, and I quote, "We can't prove that sex with children does them harm." Would you believe that? That's a Labour MP there saying, sex with children, it doesn't do them any harm, so you just carry on right ahead. Yeah, if that's what you like, you carry on with it. And there's another one, Harriet Harman, who's I believe still a Labour MP. She has said childhood sexual experiences willingly engaged in with an adult result in no identifiable damage. How ridiculous is that? The law in England is literally that you cannot engage in adult activity. You cannot willingly go forward with sex as a child because it's against the law. The reason that we have that law is because a child doesn't know what they're consenting to. They don't know. They don't understand the consequences of having sex at that age. They don't understand fully their own body. They don't understand development. They don't understand the hormones that are going through their brains and everything else. They don't understand, and that's why you don't have sex with kids. You fucking what the fuck is wrong with you? Absolutely disgusting, Keir Starmer and his nonce party. And don't get me wrong, it is a nonce party. It genuinely is. There are nonces everywhere in the Labour government. We have Birmingham Live, who has put up a story that says school locked down after fake workman enters grounds. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you will have heard many stories about schools throughout Britain that have had invaders, nonces, different people that will just go into the school with intent to do something. There have been many carrying guns, knives. We've found tents outside school grounds that look over the playgrounds and whatnot of different schools. It's absolutely disgusting. Your children absolutely are not safe in a school in Britain. They're just not. One of the Islamic things to do, one of the things they like to do in other countries, and I'm sure it'll happen soon in Britain, is they will take a school hostage. They will get all the parents to turn up and wait outside the gates while they've got their kids as hostages inside the school. And then when they know all the parents are there, one by one, they slaughter the kids one by one. They do that to create maximum effect because essentially, if children, you have to stand there powerless to do anything while basically Muslims kill your children. It's disgusting. We have somebody saying Sebi Evans 148 has said, are you a Reform Party? No, I'm not with the Reform Party. I am a member of Restore Britain. However, I will vote for whoever I think is best at the time. Right now, for me, that is Restore Britain, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stick by them throughout the next 3, 4, 5 years, regardless of what they do. The sensible thing to do when picking a political party, when voting, is to go with the party that suits your best interests, that you can understand and relate to the most. So no, if anyone asks you, if anyone asks me, I say no, I'm not affiliated with any political party currently. I will, when it comes to voting, I'll make my decision then. At the moment, I'm standing firm with Restore Britain, but if they piss me off before it comes to voting, then yeah, I'll probably go Reform. Yeah, that's how that's going to work for me. Okay, I don't want to commit to any political party right now. So far out from any elections or anything. So that's where I'm at the moment. We have Birmingham Live again, who has posted a story that says Birmingham mum stabbed while 8 months pregnant, says it was the last day of my life being normal. So she considers herself abnormal now and thinks that she will never be the same again. She'll never be normal again, unfortunately. It wouldn't surprise me if she left the country because obviously she's not going to trust the country again, is she? This is the name is Natalie Queiroz, was lured into Trinity Hill in Sutton Coldfield and brutally attacked by her then partner Babu Raja. Righto, good British name there. Babu Raja, and is now speaking out on the 10-year anniversary since the stabbing that shook Birmingham. Absolutely disgusting. But, you know, nothing, that was 10 years ago that happened. It's only gotten worse since then. It genuinely has. Now we have stabbings daily, sometimes multiple daily. Every day I come into this office and I do this. I look into the news, I research different things, and what I find is always disgusting. This country is on its arse. It really is. Okay, we have Nottinghamshire Live, who has written a story about dangerous Bulwell man attempted to book viewing at home of the boy he was stalking. He then tried getting a job at the school that the boy attended. This is a white guy, 32, Shane York from Bulwell, appeared in Nottingham Crown Court on Monday. So hopefully he has got a prison sentence. Although again, it's Britain, isn't it? You never know. You genuinely never know. The only way you can guarantee a prison sentence is if you get him to post a spicy tweet just after he rapes somebody or does something disgusting like that. You know, if he posted a tweet about it, the police would be all over him like flies on shit. But a rape, now they're quite lenient with that. Okay, I'm just going to look and read a little bit further into this to see if there's any further. I would like to say that he's gone to prison, but it doesn't look as if they've put that in the report. He also had 1,700 indecent images and videos of children on his device. So a really, really sick, disturbed wanker here, basically. I'm still trying to look to see if he got any prison time. They don't go into that, unfortunately. That is a shame. So I'm going to say no, he didn't get any prison time, even though he's a fucking nonce. There you go. That's Britain, modern Britain. We have Nottinghamshire Live, who say that security measures to stop baby abductions at Nottingham hospitals not effective, a report says. Now, the fact that that's even a thing, the fact that hospitals need to have security measures to stop people abducting babies, again, it just speaks volumes about how far the country has fallen in the past few decades. Absolutely disgusting. Would have never gone through anything like this. I'm sure in their day, maybe there was one or maybe two baby abductions in their whole life. Now, apparently, it's so frequent that hospitals have to have procedures in place for when it happens, and they have to have training for when it happens. Absolutely disgusting. We are not a real country anymore. We have Birmingham Live once again, who has said some UK petrol stations out of fuel as forecourts run dry. We do have a list here. I will read it out so you know where those forecourts are, where those petrol stations are that have run dry. This is another sort of panic buying thing that people are just going to do, isn't it? It's ridiculous. We're not at that stage yet. We're not involved in this war yet. So there's no real reason to go out and panic buy petrol. So why are you doing this? It's exactly the same, once again, as the whole toilet roll scenario during COVID, I believe it was, when people went out and was just fighting over toilet roll and different things. Now, I don't know about you, but I never ran out of toilet roll. I during the whole of COVID, I never once went into a supermarket steamrolling through grabbing toilet roll, and I never ran out. So as far as I'm concerned, everything's fine, okay, at the moment. And it's the same with petrol. All these people panic buying. Why? What's the point? You don't need to, okay? You don't need to be panic buying currently. Absolutely unbelievable. But again, this is what happens when you have an untrusting society. Maybe 50 years ago, 40 years ago, even 30 years ago, maybe, if anything like what's happened in Iran had happened, people would just say, okay, well, I'll do what's best for everyone. I won't go out and fill my car with petrol because I'll be sensible and think, well, do I necessarily have to use my car? Is it absolutely necessary that I have a car working, you know? Jack never had a chance. 1203 gets me every time. Gets me all warm and fuzzy seeing that flag. Good lad. Good lad. I like it. That's a good comment, mate. Absolutely brilliant. Love it. Yeah, good lad. Yeah, I am a participant of the Raise the Colours whole endeavour. I was definitely a participant of that, and I'm actually waiting to get my my ladders back from a friend that's borrowed them, so that I can replace them. The ones that I put up like this time last year, whenever it was, they're looking a bit tatty now, and I want to get out there, take them ones down, put new ones up. I've already got the new ones ready to go, but you know, my ladders, I've got to get back first. Jack never had a chance. 1203. Once again, we are everywhere, brother. Good lad. I like it. I hope you are a participant of that craze as well. It was fantastic, wasn't it? I don't know about you, but I had many people beeping their horns, putting their thumbs up to me when they were going past and everything. I even had a couple of police cars go past. They didn't stop. They didn't bat an eyelid, just carried on going. Brilliant. Absolutely love it. So I'd like to think that those officers at that time driving past just thought, you know what? I'm going to let this happen. Absolutely brilliant. Love it. So we have crime scene images in London. Has posted on X to say police, Metropolitan UK Police, this is, have launched a murder investigation following a fatal stabbing in Battersea. The male victim in his 20s was taken to hospital but died later. Poor bloke, man. That's the society that we live in now, though, isn't it? 2 men aged 28 and 38 have been arrested in connection with the incident, but police have not disclosed the grounds for the arrests at this time. There is also not a description of the 2 men that have been taken into custody. You can take what you want from that. Obviously, that's your prerogative. That's absolutely your right. I'm going to take that to mean they're Muslims. That's how that reads to me. When I don't get a description of the person arrested, that's how I read that. It was an invader. It was a immigrant. It was most likely a Muslim. We have Fishmaster 1824 who says, I live in Australia, by the way. G'day, mate. I love Australia, I do. Fantastic place. Absolutely blinding brilliant, mate. Yeah, I do like Australia, and I hope it's reciprocated. I hope Australia likes us back. Unfortunately, Britain at the minute is just in a shitty place. I do apologise for that, but, you know, it's just where we're at the moment. Fishmaster 1824, who has the worst knife crime, England or Australia? I'm going to go with England, man. We have several daily. We have multiple stabbings daily. And you have to take into consideration Australia. I'm not sure about the population numbers, but you guys are a lot more spread out than what we are. In Britain, we're all kind of on top of each other, particularly in cities. Where it's all getting a bit sort of claustrophobic now. And who drinks the most coffee? That I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you who drinks the most beer either. I love Australians because, like the Brits, they're up for a laugh. They're up for a drink. Good on them. I love them. We have Grifty who has posted, "That's great, but Labour refused to ban cousin marriages." And he's put a picture up that says pornography depicting sexual relationships between step relatives set to be banned. Right, so let's break this down. Let's break this down, shall we? Let's crack this egg open. Let's see where this goes down the old rabbit hole, shall we? So we have the NHS, we have politicians in Parliament saying that cousin marriages are a good thing. They're great. They build what is it? They said they build a good foundation for family values within the families that are essentially fucking their cousins. So it's a good thing. That's from the NHS. That's from Parliament. Yeah, they say excellent thing. But hold on. But if you want to view that online, you can't because it's banned. So looking at incest porn, no. Actually doing incest porn, yes. I'm telling you, Britain is just fucked at the minute. The left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing, and it's all just absolutely crazy up in the air. Just contradictions everywhere. Keir Starmer is such a weak little bitch as well. I cannot stand the bloke. We have Humble Flow, who has posted nothing to see here, just the future King of England in a mosque with his wife wearing a hijab. I'm fully convinced they've converted to Islam. So we have Princess Kate attempted to sit cross-legged, but found that she couldn't, with Prince William. And they are in a mosque, sitting on a cushion. She's wearing a hijab. And they look as happy as, they look like they're used to it. Is that what they expect us to do? Absolutely not. I will fight that with everything in me. Sorry, just getting a little bit of a dry mouth. It always happens. I'm not used to speaking for prolonged periods of time. I was an electrical engineer, but now I'm doing this. We have Basil the Great on X, who has posted, "Police Scotland announce migrant attacker in Edinburgh is 23 years old." Oh man. Okay. Right. So again, let's pick this one apart. Let's dive into this, shall we? So the Police Scotland Edinburgh have released a picture of the guy yesterday that he went out with two knives. And then Union Jack, woo! Cheers, Roy McClone. Good stuff. So this guy went out with two knives yesterday. He was heading for a nursery. As I've said before, Muslims like the nurseries. They like the kids' schools because it has maximum effect. So be careful. He went out with two knives, was heading towards a nursery. Two people intervened and tried stopping him. They got stabbed. The police turned up, but were told they can't intervene. They can't even get out of the car until armed police turn up. So the police turn up to the area that this guy was walking around with two knives, already stabbed two people, and they just sat in their car, just waiting. Listen to a bit of music, I expect, maybe tapping on the dashboard or something, just doing a bit of that. And they waited until the police turned up. By the time the armed police turned up, the man had taken a hostage up to his apartment, and he was looking out the window, shouting things out the window. Most likely, I don't know, solidarity with Palestine or some nonsense like. Now, they've released a picture of this guy who's an absolute piece of shit. He is a cretin. What's that? Big Smoke. No, they're like it. There can get a wife. I'm not understanding that, mate. But this guy, they've released a picture of him and they say he is 23. Well, I actually asked my girlfriend this morning, I showed her the picture and I said, how old do you think this guy is? And she said 60. She said he can't be a day younger than 50. And they expect us to believe that this guy is 23. He's 23, is he? He's 23. Fuck off. Fuck off. Absolutely just criminal. It's ridiculous. No one is believing that. The only reason they've put that is because I guarantee you he's come into the country and said, yeah, I'm 23. And all the retards that we have working in government, etc. at the moment, they've gone, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fine. You're 23. And they expect us to do the same. Normal, rational people, they expect us to do the same and just say, oh, he's 23. Okay, yeah, okay, excellent. No, absolutely fucking not. I'm not playing along with your stupid little fucking game, okay? He is not 23. Don't be fucking stupid. Don't be retarded. Jesus fuck me Christ. Absolute fucking idiots. But there you go. This is the country that we're living in currently. Oh, amazing. So we have British Intel, who has put a picture up of a wall in Alum Rock that says no whites allowed after 8 p.m. So while Keir Starmer sits in number 10 Downing Street as a squatter and says, hey, you white people, stop being racist. Hey, Muslims, here's another 40 million. While he does that, we've got our streets covered in graffiti that says no whites allowed after 8 p.m. And we absolutely do have no-go zones in Britain. There are plenty of zones. There are plenty of areas in Britain I absolutely would not go. The main one for me is always Luton. Absolute shithole. If you're from Luton, I genuinely feel sorry for you. If you're thinking of going to Luton, don't. It's a shithole. It really is. So yeah, this was spray painted onto a wall in Alum Rock after a stabbing. So somebody got stabbed in Alum, and I expect that was the reason for why it happened. Maybe this was just a white guy that was walking down the street, and you know, the Muslims in the area, you know, enforcing Sharia law, thought absolutely not, we can't have that, stabbed him. I've seen other videos of that where it absolutely happens, where a white guy wanders into a Muslim area and everyone, all of them come out onto the streets. I've seen them attacking the white people simply for walking down their street. There you go, that's how it is. We have Afghan Zoroastrian on X, who has posted Germany were devastated during World War II. Their children didn't become terrorists. Stop making excuses for terrorists. Yes, that is a fantastic point. I absolutely 100% agree with that. And that is to the lefties out there that will say, oh, well, these people are only acting up now. They're only stabbing people. They're only invading our country now because we invaded theirs. We bombed theirs. We killed theirs. No, that's not a fucking reason, you retard. Okay? It doesn't work like that. And Japan and Germany, they absolutely were devastated during World War II, etc., among other times in history that they've been devastated, and they did not resort to invading other countries. They did not resort to terrorizing other countries as the Muslims do. The reason the Muslims do it is because it's in the Quran. It's their teaching. It's they're taught to do it. They're taught to hate infidels. They're taught to terrorize infidels. Who are the infidels? Well, they're non-believers. Any non-Muslim is an infidel and should be terrorized in their eyes. We have Peter Lloyd, who has posted, tonight Starmer hosts hundreds of Muslims for the end of Ramadan ceremony at historic Westminster Hall. We didn't join the attack on Iran, so please don't hate us also. We recognized Gaza and Palestine, said Keir Starmer. He is clearly terrified of upsetting them. Yes, absolutely. Keir Starmer is owned. He is absolutely owned by Muslims. That is the only reason why he would go along with all these things that he's going along with. He set up two, as far as I know, Islam organizations since he's come into power that have political influence. Two of them he set up. Absolutely diabolical. And there are many Muslim MPs now that will openly, in the House of Commons, the Houses of Parliament, they will say things like, yes, we love cousin marriages. They will say things like, you better not go near Palestine, you better not go near Gaza, British people, British Prime Minister. And he seems to go along with it. Absolutely disgusting. But that's what you get with a weak, cowardly little pussy like Keir Starmer as a leader of a country. We have banking app outages hit customers as Iran-US war drone strike hit Amazon data centers. Now, obviously, this has not affected the UK, as the UK wasn't bombed, neither was America. This has affected several countries around the United Arab Emirates, etc. So you've now got people in those countries, in the Middle Eastern countries, that if they've gone with digital ID, if they've gone with online banking, if they've gone with CBDC, the centralized banking digital currency, if they've gone along with that, they have nothing currently. They don't have any means of money whatsoever, because they've given all the power to the government, and now those data centers have been wiped out. What are those people going to do? This is why cash is king, people. This is why you don't sign up for digital ID. You don't sign up for CBDC. It's all a means to control you. Don't fall into their trap. Okay, we have... Okay, my laptop is just loading for a moment. I'm opening several stories at a time, so it does take a moment to load, unfortunately. Let's go back to number one. Okay, new tab we have. It's still loading. Come on. Come on. Right, we have Cy Jeff, spell S-I Jeff. He has an American flag, so I'm assuming that he's American by the looks of it. And he has said Keir Starmer gave money to mosques for protection after Southport. Yeah, so that is a Muslim guy that attacked white people, and Muslims got protection afterwards. Make that make sense. Angela Rayner went to mosques begging for their support in the election. Yep, we've all seen those videos of Angela Rayner sitting in her red dress, I believe it was, surrounded by imams and Muslims, telling them that they don't need to worry. She's going to do everything she can within her power to keep them happy. The only thing I expect she didn't do at that point was suck their dicks. But, you know, maybe she did. Maybe she did. When the camera stops rolling, she starts sucking. That's how I see that going. Rachel Reeves was friends with an Islamic extremist. Yes, she was. That's recently come out. And that is going to be the next big story, I believe, that Rachel Reeves, was and is, I believe, still friends with an Islamic extremist. Mayor of London is working with the Muslim Brotherhood. Yes, he absolutely is. Again, that is the only rational reason why he would turn London into an absolute shithole. But again, it's what people have decided. You know, for some reason he keeps getting voted. If you're a person that doesn't vote, my God, please get out there voting. Jesus. We have Hertfordshire Stand Up. We have Hoddesdon Town Centre, armed robbery just taken place. This was March the 2nd at 20 past 1, and there was just a brazen robbery that just taken place just out in the open. Just yeah, they don't care. The thing is, our government, our police is so weak that they don't need to fear anything. They just brazenly go along, smash a window or anything they want, and take and take and take. They do not care. It's no different from the phone snatchers and you know the people that break into vans and steal all tools and everything out of them. They don't care. There's no repercussions. There's no consequences for their actions, and it's all free to them. So yeah, they're going to take it, aren't they? It's no different from the Greggs Bakery and why that's going bust, because of all the theft that keeps taking place throughout different parts of London. Just absolutely disgusting. Again, all we're doing is we're going from a high trust society right down to a low trust society, whilst being stabbed along the way. We have Lozzie B, who has said 2 women have been stabbed in the head and face in Sydney, Australia by an unknown man. The at a property on St. Neot Avenue in Potts Point about 10:50 a.m. today. I believe that was yesterday. What's the date today? Is it the 3rd? That was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday, unfortunately. In another attack, a man tried to stab a police officer and was also shot dead. Okay, obviously that's terrible what's happening out there. The only thing I would say with that is at least the Australians are shooting these people dead. In Britain, we give them a pay rise and put them in a nicer hotel, maybe give them a BMW at the same time. That's how it works in Britain. We are a joke country, unfortunately, now, thanks to many years of absolutely shit, corrupt leadership. That's where we're at. We have a good news story here. Woohoo! Yes, a good news story. Let's have an applause for that. Yeah, we like that. Good news. We have David Atherton, who has said, my favourite feel-good video. A farmer finds 400 tyres dumped on his land. So he gets a few of his lads together, a few mates, and together they return them to the owner. And there is a video of a great big trailer dumping 400 tyres onto a property just in the middle of the street. And then they pick up the tires off the middle of the street and they throw it into the guy's garden. Absolutely brilliant. Well done to those lads. That is how you get things done these days. The police are not there to help you, so street justice is all you have. And absolutely doing things like this, seeing things like that, it makes me all warm and fuzzy inside, because it's absolutely necessary. It's what needs to be done. You know, if these invaders, if Muslims aren't going to play by the rules, then bloody hell, why the hell are you playing by the rules? You absolutely shouldn't be. It's ridiculous. I know I've given up with that. I would never call the police in any situation. Absolutely a joke of a, as well as the Crown Prosecution Services being absolutely useless. We have Andrew Neil on X, who has posted, woke interns can't spell. Yes, once again, we've got the DEI hires on the BBC. They've put up a graphics card on, on a screen with a news presenter, and they've spelt Cyprus wrong. They've spelt Cyprus wrong. So that shows the amount of professionalism that all your money is going to in the BBC. You know, it's not cheap to have a TV license, and they bring in a hell of a lot of money. So you would have thought they would proofread things like that before they put it on TV, international TV at that. But no, No, absolutely not. The DEI hires, they're better. They're better than white men. They're better than white women. They know what they're doing, and so it doesn't need to be proofread. Just put it up there. Absolutely love it. We have Evelina Hahn, who has posted on X to say an immigrant homosexual man tried to rape another man in Sweden. Sweden's an absolute shithole. Never ever go there. It's gone. It's gone. That is a Muslim majority country now. It's gone. He will not be deported to Gaza because he's homosexual. Apparently, Sweden thinks it's more important to protect an immigrant rapist than an innocent Swedish citizen. Suicidal empathy at its finest. Yeah, it's absolutely true. They've got no empathy or sympathy for the man that got raped in Sweden, but they do have sympathy for the rapist who, if he's deported to Gaza of all places, then he'll be killed. So the Swedish man in his own country gets no justice whatsoever, and the Gazan man in Sweden just gets a slap on the wrist and a don't do that again, because he's from Gaza, his own country, that would kill him if they found out that he was gay. Absolute fucking joke this country is. It really is. As well as Sweden, obviously. Sweden is so much worse than what Britain is at the moment. In fact, I would go as far as to say Sweden is probably the worst country in Europe currently when it comes to invaders and terrorism, etc. And rapes. It's predicted that in the next couple of years, one in 4 women in Sweden will be raped. Think about that. 1 in 4 women in Sweden will be raped. Amazing. Adam Brooks, aka Essex PR, has posted the Iranian women's football team refused to sing the national anthem of the Islamic regime. They'd be executed under the now deceased Ayatollah. Yes, I absolutely stand by the Iranian people, in particular the women, for ripping off their hijabs and everything. They've been under Islamic rule now for coming on 40 or 50 years, and now they are getting their freedom. I absolutely hope they do, as they will be the ones likely to free us in Britain in years to come when we go under Islamic rule. It's on its way. It's already here. Get used to it. It's going to happen. Okay, we have... How are we doing for time? Another 5, maybe 10 minutes, and I'll have to call it a day, unfortunately. I know how much fun you're having listening to this. We have Britain is Broken, who has said breaking hundreds of thousands of Brits are stuck in the Middle East. A mass evacuation from the Middle East is unlikely to happen due to risks. Once again, that is because our politicians, our leader is a pussy. He does not take any risk whatsoever. He is a coward. So yeah, I actually know somebody that's stuck there at the moment. They're British and they can't go anywhere. They can't do anything. They are just in an airport, just unable to move. So until Keir Starmer and the government grow a backbone, I wouldn't expect them home anytime soon. If you have any family out there, friends out there, please pray for them if you believe in God, and just hope they come home safely, because it's just, for the time being, it just doesn't look as if they're going to be going anywhere. They're just going to be sitting waiting, unfortunately. Alexandra has posted on X to say a disturbance is a neighbor waking up, shouting or playing music, trying to break into a nursery with 2 very large knives, then going stabbing people is a terror event in my eyes. A slight disturbance is not. And this is obviously Alexandra referring to the guy in the terrorist in Scotland, Edinburgh, who went out with the knives and was heading towards a nursery and then ended up taking a hostage. Police name, this is on Lincolnshire Live, by the way. It's a story about police name a man and woman charged after burglary offences in. They're both due to appear in Lincoln Magistrates Court on Monday, March the 2nd. So I imagine that's already taken place. But again, these days, you never know. They might just be running a few days late. I believe the current wait list is about between 2 to 4 years. If you do something, you're not likely to get convicted of it for 2 to 4 years in the courts, in the court systems. Unless that is you post a spicy tweet. If you post a spicy tweet, you are going straight to jail. Absolutely no excuses will suffice. We have Birmingham Live, who have said Birmingham council tax rise agreed. Here's how much residents will pay. That is right. Birmingham, that is a bankrupt county. Birmingham that hasn't had its bins emptied in probably, I think it's well over a year now. Birmingham that is literally filling up its streets with shit day by day. Birmingham that has rats the size of cats running. They have an abundance of food there. They're living in rat heaven in Birmingham. Because they've just got an abundance of everything and no one seems to give a shit. Absolutely amazing. Well, they're going to put up council tax. Absolute fucking unbelievable. Just absolute. Yeah. Awesome. What can you say to that? Yeah, so Birmingham, apparently they want more council tax. Oh man, if I lived in Birmingham, I would absolutely tell them where to fucking go. Definitely. And then I would sit outside my property with a base crossbow, with a sword, with everything that I even deem half a fucking weapon, and I would sit there, and any time I see anyone get out of their car and walk towards my place, I would just say, you just keep fucking walking. That is what I'd do if I lived in Birmingham and that was the situation. Iran Spectator has posted some breaking news. This was March the 2nd. The nuclear reactor in Iran has been bombed, according to a foreign report. This is serious. Yeah, of course it is. That's very, very serious. A nuclear reactor can do an untold for many years. You can just rebuild in a place that that's had a nuclear reactor fail or be bombed afterwards. You can't just go there and rebuild afterwards. You have to let the radiation disperse and disappear over many, many decades. Absolutely just disgusting what this world has come to, particularly in the Middle East, particularly the Islamic Republic of Iran. They are absolutely disgusting. I'm grateful that so many of the supreme leaders in the Islamic Republic of Iran over the last few days have been taken out successfully. Good news. I love a bit of good news. Woohoo. Well done, Donald Trump. Applause there for you, mate. We have Politics UK, who has posted MPs are to get a 5% pay rise, taking their salary to £98,599 a year. Yes, this one actually blew my mind away, because MPs are getting a 5% pay rise, whilst simultaneously you, if you own a petrol or diesel car, are having a 5% rise in tax fuel duty on your petrol or diesel. So what they've essentially done there is they've given themselves a 5% pay rise, and then they've burdened you with the cost of that 5% pay rise because they think they deserve more of your money for coming into power, forming a government, and taking more of your money. That's all they've done since they've been in power, just take more of your money. Absolutely disgusting, this government. Yeah, and for some reason, people just go along with it. Right? Yeah. Stop working, genuinely, just stop working. Politics UK. Watch Zach Polanski say Keir Starmer is dragging the UK into another illegal war. He says we must immediately withdraw permission from the US to use UK bases. We need to think about our own national security. What the fuck are you talking about, Zach Polanski? Do you understand anything about politics, about the government, about what's going on in the Middle East? Do you understand anything, any of that? You're an absolute moron. If the Green Party get into power, mark my words, there will actually be a civil war almost immediately. If not, then it it would be funny just to watch Zach Polanski try and hold the country together whilst putting forward lots of lefty ideologies. You know, it will never work. It will immediately crumble, and he'd either have to immediately go back on everything, or he'll just invite in the Islamic State. Yeah, I think out of those would be the Islamic State, just kicking Zach Polanski out of the party for being a mess, and then taking over government, or a civil war. They're the most likely scenarios, the way I see it. And we have 53 minutes on the live, on the recording. So I'm going to wrap it up there. We can end on Zach Polanski because he is an utter tool. What a day to be alive. What a time to be alive. Just to experience all of this bullshit that we have going on in England now, in Britain, or Britannistan, depending on how far you think Britain is gone. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed the news channel today. If you're watching this later on, thank you for watching it later on. And I genuinely appreciate every one of my followers. Keep the spirit alive, keep Britain alive for as long as we can. Cheers, everyone. Bye.